My dad played guitar when I was growing up, and when I was 7, I asked him to teach me because I just loved how free and expressive he was when he played, and it just made me feel like I need that. Like I want to like be as cool as him. Every day after school I'd go home and just play and write, and like it was my own little secret space. No one knew really that I was writing music for years until I played for my sisters, and they really responded to it, and it made me feel this deep sense of connection to other people. And it was a way that I could express my feelings and whatever I was going through. And at the time I was coming out and dealing with this kind of like whole like question of who I am and what's my identity and how am I possibly gonna come out like in this suburban town. And music really saved me at that time. It was my way of connecting with myself and with other people. The guitar is like a portal to so much emotion and so much expression and so much of like, you don't need words. And I think that's like the beauty of it. You can just play one note, you can play one chord, and if you're playing it with like all of your being, it just can connect with so many people. And it's really, I don't know, it's a magical instrument. The Pathfinder was my first amp. Like I actually got it through a friend, and I fell in love with it because it's so crunchy, and like you can get all these really beautiful tones from it. It's like no matter what guitar I plug into this amp, it's like, it just gives me this like body. It accentuates all of these tones and all of the pedals that I use. I'm like a huge pedal nerd, and so to get all of those tones and expand them through this and my amp is really small right now, but it just exudes like so much tone and like depth and beauty, and like I am obsessed with the amp, like truly. It's like, I think it like, especially when I'm doing solo shows, which I'm doing a lot of right now, it's like having that on stage, it like makes my whole set feel like it's a full band, and it's just me. I love it. I'm about to go on tour with my band and play a bunch of shows with my band, and so the AC30 Custom is what I'm bringing on tour. Also, it's just like an extension of the Pathfinder. It's bigger, it has more room, and I think with all of the different textures that I've been playing with recently, I'm so excited to tour with this thing and like just blow the speakers. The audience will need earplugs. Some of the women that I have been really drawn to and like watching their careers, one is of course Linda Perry. I think she has just paved the way for so many women, and especially producers and women that just want to take control of their own lives and their own careers. It's just like, I am in awe of what she's done, and she did it at a time when it was even harder than it is now. Like the work is not done at all, but I do think she gave like all women a way to just get into the industry and like especially have a name in the production world. Another woman that I just adore and I think is just a genius is Verite. And she's in the indie pop world, and she is just a beast. Like, she's been independent her whole career. She is just constantly experimenting and expanding. And I think like any woman that can like play, produce, write, everything. It's just, we need more. Like, we just need like more women who are hungry for that and who want to make a difference and have a name and also pave the way for future generations. Being a woman in the music industry, I think it is different. For a long time, especially in my early 20s, would walk into a room and be like, I need to like look really pretty. I need to like have my makeup on. I need to like be all dolled up so the men in the room like pay attention to what I have to say. And I think as I've gotten older, I've just realized that it's really not about that. You just have to have a voice and really stand your ground. And I've been in rooms where it's in writing sessions and in the studio where I do feel like everything I say is like in one ear, out the other. And I think the more that I've just been confident and like found my voice as an artist and as a songwriter, the more people listen. I love being a woman in the industry too. It's like there's so much power in it. There really is, and you have so much to say. Like there's a lot to talk about. The advice I'd give to women starting out in the music industry is follow your instincts always. Having something that's more important than just like, I want to write a nice song, great. But like, what are you saying? Like, to me, it's like about intention, impact, and instinct, and feeling really proud of what you're putting out. Like, I think if you put out something that you're like embarrassed of, like why? It's just like adding to the noise. I think it really should be about you and like your experience and your story in life. And everybody has a story. And I think that is the most important part of music, is telling yours, because everybody's story is important. I use my platforms and my socials to inspire women in music by posting a lot of videos of me playing and different gear that I'm using and different production techniques. I think the biggest learning curve when I started producing, which I started like years and years ago, kind of like by accident, because I was just trying to record my music and then realized that there's all this other, fun stuff to do inside the computer. The biggest learning curve was just not really knowing how, like the techniques behind it, or like little tiny, little tricks to use to make production stand out. And so I really try to just give little tips and just inspire women that way, because I think the more techniques and knowledge you have, the more powerful you'll be, and the more you'll be able to utilize that and put that into your own project in your own music. I released an EP called Sweet Sweet Honey last year, and that EP I fully wrote and produced myself. I've produced a lot of the songs that are out right now, but this one in particular, I just really honed in that aesthetic and like really experimented with drums and different tones. Like every drum on that record is just me hitting a table and then like making it sound like a drum. I just didn't have any drums around at the time. For production, I don't really think it's what you have or like having the best equipment or having any of that. It's just really what you make of it. So you really can use anything. I wrote another record. I'm mixing it right now, and I produced that. I brought in a bunch of my favorite musicians, and everyone just brought their own voice to it. And it's been a really fun experiment, because the EP I released was completely me playing everything and producing everything. And this one is me producing, but like having different musicians come in. It's been a really beautiful and eye-opening experience, just being able to collaborate more and have bigger voices. For touring, it was really interesting. I was supposed to go on tour with the War on Drugs, and the reason why I got the tour in the first place, which to me felt like this sign to just like keep going, and I think that's another thing that's important in music, is to just be your own cheerleader. But Adam, who's the leader of the War on Drugs, he had heard my mixer mixing my EP, and through the wall was trying to Shazam it, and then knocked on the door and was like, "Who is this?" And the mixer, Chris, gave him my information, and he DM'd me and was like, "Do you want to open up for us?" And to me, like, I remember just like falling to my knees and being like, yes, this is like the best thing. They're my favorite band. Like, this is a dream come true. Fast forward like 6 months later, another variant pops up and COVID strikes again. And they cancel all the openers. The War on Drugs said they were gonna rebook us all for the summer, so fingers crossed that happens. But every show is such an opportunity to show your music and to like, again, connect with people and be in front of people. And I really miss that. I think that's like the biggest thing I miss about touring. But hopefully, listen, We gotta stay positive. We're gonna be there. I will be playing in front of, you know, their fans, hopefully my future fans. But yeah, I do think touring, I'm just hoping it comes back like fully. It's been really rough, I think, for a lot of people.